Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we're having another banger video where we're reviewing some props. We're looking at some prop data we've got in reference to the R36 and R37 launch from HQ Prop, and I'm going to be comparing them to my previously used prop, the MCK V2. Switched those a little while ago, found that they were good, but now pending the release of the R36s and R37s, we are going to have a look at how good those props are and compared to what I was using previously and what a lot of pilots are using at the moment. So I did 3 days of testing. On this first day I tested all 3 props, and as you can see on the left hand chart, the MCK wasn't included, and this was because there was only 27 laps. I only did 27 laps for those versus about 100 for the R36s and R37, so I decided the data wasn't relevant for the left hand chart. But however, on the right we took the 10 fastest laps for each prop, and I plotted those there, and you can see the R37 had a faster time. For its top 10 fastest laps were all faster than the MCK or R36s. The R37s were worse to begin with in the day one chart because they were warming up on those props, so that's why there's that little dip at the start there. Later on you'll see there's my data screen. For day 1 and day 1, 2 and 3 I didn't include the first 20 laps for warm up as I did that on the R37s. So next day's data, we've got day 2. I only flew the R36s and R37s on the second day of testing as I ran out on the first day, hence why there was only 27 laps completed. But it does show out of the 2 HQ props there's a pretty clear trend on that the R37 is the faster out of the 2 props on my setup. And finally for day 3 I got some new MCK props, and we have prop data for all 3 of them. They're about similar laps on the MCK prop as R36 and R37s, only about 2 or 3 packs less. I again warmed up on the R37s, and then you can see the times come down, all 3 props ending pretty well the same times. If you look at the trend lines trending the same spot. So it was a pretty close day for times overall on day 3, and the fastest laps, again, fast laps completed on the R37s, MCK in second and R36 in third, which is very interesting. And finally, this is sort of a summary picture of all the data. So you see a color coded there. Green is good, yellow is worse, red is the worst, yellow is in the middle. So interesting to see that the fastest laps were always completed for days 1, 2 and 3 on R37s. They're obviously over a single lap. They seem to be the fastest prop for me. And then you come down to the median laps. The MCKs had faster median laps on the 2 days where they were included. The first day, I think it may have been because I only did 27 laps on those, and because I tested them last, I gave it, like 27 push laps, so the median lap would have been faster. So that is called into question whether or not that's actually true estimation of what the MCKs can do. However, for day 3 you can see that over a median distance the MCKs were the faster prop over the other 37s, but however that was only by about a tenth, which is not too bad. The standard deviation there shows how closely grouped the times were, so plus minus 1.97 seconds would be about the standard deviation, where 68% of my laps fell for R37s, whereas the number was higher for MCKs and R36s, showing that they were pretty well a worse or less consistent prop in that regard. And then we've got the number of laps and the broken amount of props. Obviously the MCK is going to be less because there was about half or a third as many laps completed. However, the R36s did tend to be more durable in the sense of they would bend rather than break, whereas the R37s are sort of seem to be a bit of a harder plastic, and they'll last quite a while and then lose a blade or break. But to me, that's a more desirable characteristic, because I'd rather crash in a race, have my prop not be bent, fly the rest of the race feeling completely fine, than just change my props over and, you know, never lose the prop, whereas the R36 would bend or something, which still, depending on how you see it, that's up to you. But honestly, yeah, it's not really an issue to me. I actually quite like the R37 durability. It stood out to me well. Yeah, so that's a bit of a summary of sort of my lap testing data. Onto some DVR now. Thanks for watching.